Happy weekend from the Giant Ninja. So I decided to go watch the Blue Beetle movie. Okay? Now, just for reference, guys, I am Hispanic. I grew up in a third world country. I am not Mexican. I know the Blue Beetle is Mexican. But it's all part of Latin America, right? And I think this is the first true adaptation of a Hispanic or Latin American superhero. So, you know, curiosity got the best out of me, and I went to go watch it and you know, didn't read any reviews, just went straight for the jugular and to get my own opinion. I'll say this. The movie's plot, a lot of the times is straight up fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck were you thinking? Stupid. Right? It was, yeah, a lot of the plot in this movie was bad. Not saying the origination story was bad, the origin story was bad, but the certain plots of the movie were just, what the fuck, really? I'll tell you this, I absolutely enjoyed this movie. In fact, I almost loved this movie. Now, one of the reasons why I pretty much loved this movie was because it resonated with me so much. You know, the soundtrack, man, some of the songs were songs that my grandmother used to whistle to or listen to, and it brought me back in time to that day. Shit, try not to get emotional here, but you know, it reminded me of my grandmother being young and her singing some of these songs or listening to some of these songs, right? And it put me in a happy place. Let's see. Also, the way that the family, the Reyes, the way that they interact with each other and all those things, it's pretty close, right? They're Mexican, so their dialect is different. But I understand it. And even when I struggled to understand some of the words, I could put it together, and I was laughing my ass off. Because the movie does have a lot of comedy. Now, a lot of the comedy is also based for children. This really is a children's movie. It really is, and that's okay. That's fine. A lot of fart joke humors, you know, and stuff like that, but I really, really, really enjoyed this movie, especially from the soundtrack, especially from the family interaction. It just connected with me. Jaime Reyes is the star of this movie, and the actor, man, I don't want to butcher his name. I think it's Solo. He absolutely nailed this character. The dude's just very likable. Here are some of the bad things about the movie. At some points, they take certain jabs here and there at a certain political stance, almost kind of thing, right? So one of the plots of the movie is, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but one of the plots is that they're losing their house, and pretty much they everything goes wrong because they're Mexican or because they're Hispanics. The system doesn't allow them to get out of the place where they don't want to be at anymore, which is okay. But let's I'm gonna flip it on them. It's got to be ran by Democrats if that's the way they're thinking. I'm from Texas, and my people we pay cash for shit. You know, I'm in real estate, and some of my people pay cash for their homes. So the money's there. You got to go out and get it, though, you know. But that's it. I'm not going to talk about politics because that's not what this is about. But I needed to kind of put it into perspective that, yeah. Anyway, so that kind of, there's no necessity in politics for me in a movie. And that just kind of was, yeah, you're throwing a jab, but you're throwing the jab the wrong way. And I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. Another thing is, even though this movie, I said it's okay for kids, I would have liked it to be a little bit more serious, I guess. Another weak part of the movie is its villain. And I think this is what's kind of caused the last few DC movies just to fall flat in their face. You know, the hero's only as good as its villain. And so when you look at Black Adam, what the fuck was that? You know, Wonder Woman 84, what the shit was that? You know, The Flash, okay. Oh, that was original. You know, and then this one. And you know, DC hasn't made horrible movies. There's just a disconnect between the fan base. Because who's going to go watch a superhero movie? People who enjoy superheroes. And most of us who like superheroes know that the hero's only as good as the villain. And they need to figure that out in Hollywood. Anyway, those were some of the things that I didn't enjoy too much of the movie. I can tell you this. I will definitely watch this movie again because I just love the Hispanic environment in it. And obviously, guys, I'm going to like this and enjoy it more than certain people just because you can be Hispanic but not know anything about your heritage. You know, you can call yourself Mexican and not be able to speak Spanish, not ever heard a Hispanic song or anything like that. So you might not enjoy it as much as far as the soundtrack goes, but the family vibe you'll get, right? Because that doesn't go away. That just doesn't go away. Man, I'm trying to think of other stuff, but pretty much it's, man, the soundtrack's awesome. I connected with this movie for different reasons. The characters are likable for the most part. Some of them aren't necessary, but the star is Jaime Reyes and the Blue Beetle, and they nailed it. Some of the dislikes are, it gets a little bit jabby at certain points with certain stances in politics. The villain is very, very meh, right? And I wish it was just a little bit more mature. Just a little bit more mature. You know, I think that's what killed Black Adam in the long run. The villain was horrible, and it just wasn't mature enough. I think The Flash kind of did better there in those senses. But the movie was fun. I'll definitely go watch it again. I enjoyed almost every second of this movie. And if I had to give it a rating at its best, probably 8.5 out of 10. And at its worst, probably 6.5 out of 10. To me, that's a go watch movie. If you can afford it, obviously. But yeah, Blue Beetle, liked it a lot. I think it's their best in a long time for DC.